Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're going to get into the missing children, and the RCMP says cadaver dogs will be deployed to search for missing NS children. And this is by Amy Thomas, and this was produced yesterday, people. So Lily and Jack, this beautiful photo of them reported missing from their home in Pictou County on May the 2nd, 2025. Cadaver dogs will soon scour for two children who disappeared from rural Nova Scotia more than 4 months ago. But the RCMP maintain they do not have a reason to believe Lily and Jack Sullivan are dead. Lily 6 and Jack 4 reported missing on May the 2nd when police received a 911 call from their mother saying that they had wandered away from their home in Lansdowne Station, a sparsely populated community in Pictou County, about 140 kilometres northeast of Halifax. Their disappearance sparked an extensive grid search that spanned 8.5 square kilometres of mostly dense woods and involved about 160 ground search and rescue volunteers, service dogs, drones, and helicopters. It was quite a big operation, people. But cadaver dogs trained to pick up the scent of human remains were not deployed during that search, and they should have been early. Was it Michelle After Dark was on about that they should have acted a bit more quickly on that, and she's got a brilliant channel there. RCMP scrutiny of missing NS children's mother's stepfather suggests no criminal involvement, polygraphs, blanket and boot prints, new details of investigation in missing NS children revealed. But those kids seem to go out into the woods on themselves, or sometimes with their mother, not far behind, or stepfather. So that footprint could have been any of the days. Do you know what I mean? On Friday, police said there are searches planned, but would not say where and when, citing safety concerns. They did confirm the searches will not happen this weekend. It seems maybe they've got another tip-off. During the media availability Friday, CPL Guillaume Tremblay said police have taken a number of investigative avenues, including the ground searches following on an agent trips and reviewing more than 8,000 videos. Wow. It seems like they're still committed to the case, the Guardia Civil, deploying cadaver dogs at the next step in the investigations. He said that should have been done a lot earlier, to be honest. Why now, though? What's important to remember is that at this time, we do have any definite information to support that the children are deceased, but we have to keep our minds open and look at all investigative avenues, said Tremblay. This is another example of utilising all services that are available to our officers, and we have to remain patient. I know the public, our officers, want to know what happened, and we are not going to stop until we find out what happened. Belinda Gray, the paternal grandmother of Lily and Jack Sullivan, there she is. She had a lot to say in the early days. The children, paternal grandmother Belinda Gray, said she wanted to jump up and down upon hearing the news Friday. Gray has long called for cadaver dogs to be brought in. Nevertheless, she feels the investigation is not progressing quickly enough, and she's troubled by the lack of information being provided by police. They're finally doing something that, to me, should have been done a couple of months ago at least, said Gray, whose son, Cody Sullivan, is Jack and Lily's biological father, although he has not been in their lives for 3 years. It's really been a roller coaster. You get through your days and you just do your best you can. To be honest, she's been quite honest, Belinda, and transparent in this case. Tremblay said police dogs that were deployed during previous searches are trained to pick up the scent of a living person or someone who had recently died. Staff Sergeant Stephen Pike, Programme Manager of the RCMP Police Dog Services Training Centre in Isnavale, ALTA, said human remains detection dogs are highly specialised and highly trained to detect the distinct odour of decomposition, which is very, very important. It makes me wonder why that wasn't done earlier. Surely some of the surrounding family members were asking for that. None of the roughly 6 to 8 dogs that are servicing Connect are based in Nova Scotia. He said there is one dog team on a PEI, but they are not currently operational due to medical leave. Sergeant Dave Wallen and his dog Kit will join Inspector Luke Retty and his dog Nark to conduct the searches over the coming days and weeks. RCMP said both are based in British Columbia. Makes you wonder whether they've got a tip off or information that they need to search with cadaver dogs are usually brought in when there's reason to believe decomposition has taken place and other possibilities such as the person wandered off have been ruled out. He said the success of the dog depends completely on whether the odour is present and being released. If the remains are somewhere airtight, the odour may not be detectable. There are no definitive timeline on how long the scent can remain detectable, and it depends on the size of the person and environmental factors, said Pike. But he noted a case in which a dog uncovered material in an investigation 2 years later from the ocean floor at low tide. They're also able to detect scent underwater and underground, even in challenging environments like septic fields and landfills. The dogs can be effective because human decomposition is unique. They don't rely on visual. They will take us to that foliage. They will take us to those somewhat concealed or buried or whatnot areas. There's odours present. The dogs will locate it, said Pike, who has been a dog handler for 25 years. That's really good news. There's the two beautiful kids there. So sad at the end of the day. It really is. I just really, really hope they're found. In late August, CBC asked the RCMP if cadaver dogs would be deployed. A spokesperson said any searches for human remains will be based on information gathered through the ongoing investigations, but they should have done it earlier. It just would have made sense. Officers continue to access information, forensic evidence, including that collected from the large search area. Cindy Bayer says it's an email statement on August the 25th. So that was the information there, people. Brilliant article, and I'm so glad. Obviously, the cadaver dogs are going to be brought in, basically, hopefully, to sort of search that property in the surrounding area, which I, have no doubt that they will do. And dogs are trained to pick up scent of human remains, which is something of good news, because it tells me that they are actually taking this case very, very seriously. Something from Ali Harris, people.
I just thought I'd give you more of an update on these two cadaver dogs that they're bringing in. One is from Alberta, and the other one, I believe, is from the other side of America-Canadian border. People are getting a bit mixed up with what a cadaver dog is. They are specialist dogs. They only use their nose, and that is why they can only detect deceased people for about 35 minutes at one time. So they're bringing in two completely fresh cadaver dogs, one from Boston, I believe, and the other one is from the South American Canadian border. We should have some more info on that. This is for the Lily and Jack Sullivan case in Nova Scotia. RCMP have put this out, and Sunny from Crime and Shame picked it up last night, and I've had a message this morning. I think this is a good idea. They're obviously onto something. I still think that Janie, Daniel's mother, knows a bit more. My thoughts are they were either picked up in a car at the end of the drive and taken somewhere, more likely on that quad bike with his brother involved, or they could have been attacked by Janie's dog. That's my thoughts on it, but maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know, but I'm glad they're bringing in two dogs. They haven't said when. It'll be in the next few days. They will be going at to various parts of the property, in the woods, and at a couple more places, I believe. Won't be at all surprised if they don't go up behind to that place, that waterfall place behind. I've got a feeling about that place. Anyway, sweetheart, you did a great job last night. I thought you were going to be hosted by EP, and the others were going to be in there as well as Lucky and people like that. But
No, no, definitely not going to do a video with Luggy and Chris because, like I said, we know what story we're going to get from them, and it's not what we want to hear. We want to hear the truth, and I think Mia, I think she was kind of genuine. I'm not sure about everything, but like I said, I will do another discussion on that at the end of that. I'm also going to do a video on Chris Tenerife, what he had to say as well, coming a bit later. But thank you very much, Ali, for the update there. I know that she knows dog handlers in the area and obviously went to dog shows as well. So she's quite up on cadaver dogs and stuff like that. So interesting. Let's just hope some information come in. Public, do you think Daniel is involved with basically the children missing? I just want your basically, what you think at the end of the day. I'm not so sure now. I was before thinking, yeah, he's dodgy, but I'm not 100% sure now whether he's involved or whether he's got the skills, to do that at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Because he did seem transparent and did everything that he was basically asked for, and the only one coming forward was Malaya. Did do obviously an interview the first day, and then nothing after that. It's just bizarre to me at the end of the day. I'm not saying Daniel's an angel because we know he takes rugs, and he seems to have a problem with that. At the end of the day, sometimes a little bit strange, but I just don't know. It's confusing, this case, should I say. Let me know your thoughts, people, because like I said, it's good to get some feedback in what you think. So that's my question to the public today. Do you think Daniel is more involved than what we think? And do you think technically he basically killed the case? And does Malaya know more? I think we just got to concentrate on the parents. I'm just not so sure now at the end of the day. I'm probably at this moment 60-40 in the favour that the parents didn't hurt and they were just basically picked up by someone random. Let me know what you think, people, because I think this is quite important that obviously cadaver dogs have been brought into this case now. Maybe the police have got a tip off and thinking they can get something from this. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. Do tell your friends and family about the channel. Let's grow. Thank you very much indeed.